All right, let's dive into a really powerful story from the book of Proverbs. It takes one of life's biggest choices and boils it down to something surprisingly simple. Two different invitations to two very different parties. I mean, really think about that for a second. Imagine your whole future, every big decision, your entire life path, all hanging on which invitation you decide to accept. That's exactly the scene this ancient text is painting for us. So at the heart of this whole story are two hosts, and they're both competing for your attention. You've got Lady Wisdom and Lady Folly. They represent two completely different ways to live, and believe me, they are both calling out. So let's check out the first offer on the table. First up, we meet Wisdom. And let me tell you, she isn't just sitting around waiting for things to happen. Oh no, she's a builder, a planner, a really thoughtful and generous host who has put in the work to prepare something special. And the little details here are so important. See, Wisdom has built her house on 7 pillars. Now, in ancient texts, the number 7 is a huge deal. It represents completeness, stability, even divine perfection. So this isn't just some shack. It's a solid, well-thought-out structure that's built to last. And just look at the level of care here. She's prepared the meat, mixed the wine, set the table. Every single step shows that she's thought this through. This isn't some last-minute hangout. It's a carefully prepared feast. It shows how much she actually values her guests. She is ready for you. And notice where she is, the highest point of the city. This is absolutely crucial. Wisdom isn't hiding out in some secret, exclusive club. Her invitation is out in the open, it's public, it's for anyone and everyone who's willing to listen. And her call is just so welcoming. She specifically invites the simple. Now, that's not an insult. It's an open door for anyone who knows they don't have all the answers and is actually looking for them. She's offering real substance, real nourishment. So what's she actually promising? Well, it's about way more than just a meal. If you accept her invitation, you're signing up for a total transformation. It means leaving naivety behind, finding what it means to truly live, and starting down a path of real insight. It's a promise of genuine growth. But here's the thing. Wisdom isn't the only one calling out from the city heights. There's another host with a very, very different kind of invitation, one that's a total contrast to everything we've just seen. And wow, the difference is just night and day. Where Wisdom builds and prepares, Folly is described as unruly, as simple and knowing nothing. She hasn't built a thing. She hasn't prepared anything. She's all about impulse and chaos, not order and intention. And here's a fascinating little detail. Folly copies Wisdom's location. She sets up in the exact same public square, trying to look legit. But her actions? Completely different. While Wisdom is actively preparing and calling out with purpose, Folly, she just sits. She's passive. She's an opportunist just waiting for someone to wander by. Her call isn't an offer of nourishment. It's more like a tempting whisper. She appeals to the thrill of the forbidden, the idea that secret things are somehow better. Her entire invitation is based on cheap thrills, not on anything with lasting substance. And here's the terrifying truth hiding behind that invitation. The house that looks so exciting from the outside, it's a trap. The text puts it bluntly, her guests are deep in the realm of the dead. That promise of a secret thrill leads straight to destruction. So, we have two invitations coming from the same public place. One leads to life, the other leads to death. How in the world are we supposed to tell the difference? Well, thankfully, the text gives us a key, a kind of foundational principle to help us figure it out. The starting point, the absolute bedrock of real wisdom, is what the text calls the fear of the Lord. Now, this isn't about being terrified. It's about a deep awe, a profound respect for, and an alignment with the Lord. And that leads to a super practical real-world test for our own hearts. How do we react when someone corrects us? A wise person actually welcomes it because they know it helps them grow. But a mocker, someone who's on folly's path, they hate it. They lash out. It's a simple but really powerful way to see where you stand. And the consequences of this choice are deeply personal. Choosing wisdom leads to a longer, fuller life. That wisdom actually becomes its own reward. But if you choose the mocker's path, the text is crystal clear. You alone will suffer for it. It really puts the responsibility squarely on our own shoulders. So it all comes down to this: 2 hosts, 2 invitations, and 2 vastly different outcomes. Let's just put them side by side one last time to make the choice as clear as it can be. I mean, the contrast is just so stark, isn't it? On one side, you've got an invitation that's all about preparation and transparency, promising real insight in life. On the other, a lazy, secretive offer that's just preying on your desire for a cheap thrill. One is built on substance, the other is pure illusion. The choice is literally between life and death. And that leaves us with one last, lingering question. In the story, both voices, wisdom and folly, are calling from the most prominent spot in town. That's a choice we all still have to navigate.